You know, I did say, I mean, I'm not one for big announcements, and I sort of hate the unwanted media attention. You know, this time of year, I think that the media needs to go to the people who've earned it, and especially in the lead up to the championship races, that should be the defending champions and the people who finished on the podium and the contenders. But, you know, I thought last year was going to be my last Kona. It certainly felt that way from a lot of different perspectives. You know, I was at a point in my career where, with a lot of sponsorship obligations and travel, I wasn't able to focus on keeping my body healthy the way I would like to. And also from a family perspective, you know, the plan was that our son was to start school this year. You know, we've been homeschooling Lucy for a while now, but Austin was meant to start school, and Neri and I had always said when that point arrived, it was probably time to travel a lot less. But then in January, back in Australia, which is when the school year back there starts, Austin was only 4.5, and yeah, we decided not to start him this year. So, you know, things can change and plans can change. Obviously, straight away I started thinking about Kona, but you know, it's not the kind of race you can just turn up to half-hearted. And my back has still been an ongoing issue. You know, I've stated in the past, I feel when I've got fit that I can still compete. I mean, I think I showed that in Geelong in what I think is probably the best 70.3 field that's been assembled in Australia for a long time, you know. Obviously, Tim Reed was there, and Brad, Stixie, Robbo, Courtney Atkinson, James Hodger was a great field. Tim Burkle, Fattel, it was, I mean, the list goes on. But it's, you know, it's one thing to talk about getting in that shape, it's another thing to actually get in that shape and race. But, you know, after Geelong, and knowing that Austin wasn't going to school, I jumped into Melbourne for that exact reason, because I didn't want to get to July and August and think it'd be a shame not to have validated. And yeah, so I did that, and I felt I had a fairly decent performance in Melbourne. Not my greatest, but I did what yeah, it was a good run. I felt it was a pretty decent bike. You know, I think when you're not in that front group, and that group is where all the, you know, I guess the contenders were, and it was a big group, 14 or 15. That's where all the media vehicles are. You need to be in that group. So yeah, no, it was a good race, and I guess the main thing was I validated. So, but since then I had a big break after Melbourne. Had some travel up to Malaysia, some travel around Australia for different things, and then we had a family holiday in Brazil. So I wouldn't say I'm unfit, but I'm nowhere near race fit. And you know, it's all well and good to talk about doing Kona, but you know, there's a lot of hard work to be done between now and then, and also mainly on my body. I need to feel confident that I'm not going to get 100k in and not be able to get down on the aero bars. And you know, a lot of people have been asking me, and it's no big secret. I haven't been keeping it a secret. I mean, I've been telling people as early as January, when Austin didn't go to school, that, you know, I knew I had this trip to the UK to do, plus some other engagements, one in Houston and a few others around the place, one in New York this week. So I always felt that I'd be coming over in some capacity, but when Austin wasn't at school, Neri and I talked about, let's spend the whole summer over there. So I'm certainly in the right place, I feel, to prepare, and that's my plan when I get home from this trip. I think it's 12 weeks to Kona. That's plenty of time, but you know, I need to get to a point where I feel confident my body's in the right place, and I'm getting a lot of work done on my back, particularly back in Boulder. So I'm putting in the effort, absolutely, but yeah, I'm a long way from saying definitively, yes, I'm going to go. And you know, it's not sort of about anything other than me needing to feel that I'm ready to race there. And I would love to race there, but I know how hard it is as well. So yeah, that's on the agenda. I mean, at this point in my career, if I'm gonna go to the time and the effort, and the people around me are going to sacrifice all the things that we need to do, I kind of feel the races too do other big ones. You know, if you're going to put that effort in, then you may as well go to the races that you enjoy, and the races that I enjoy, the championship races. So yeah, no, it's been on my radar for months now, and I've been chipping away, doing what I feel is the right sort of training for where I'm at in my career, to keep my body fresh and healthy. A lot of focus on working in the gym, on getting the right sort of therapy, and yeah, it's, you know, certainly the last 18 months has been challenging, because I'd never really had to deal with anything my whole career. And I just feel that I wouldn't say it's an age thing. It's more a time thing. I just haven't had the time to devote to it. So, but yeah, no, that's the plan, and I feel I'll be ready, hopefully, to make a decision by the end of August, and I'd like to do a tune-up race. If I'm going to do Kona, I'd like to race somewhere before it as well. So, probably not Tremblant. I think that's too far out, especially with where my fitness is at the moment. I don't think I'd be ready to step into a field of that calibre 7 weeks from now. But an extra 5 weeks on, definitely. I mean, 12 weeks is a long time, especially when you've been doing the sport 20 years. I think you have a big base, a lot of muscle memory, a lot of experience to call on. And so, yeah, when I head back to Boulder, that's my total focus is on just getting fit and healthy and getting in race shape.